Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and for today I decided that there would be no better topic to really start off this channel than to answer the age-old question: how do I femboy? It's something that everyone at one point or another who is deciding to become one looks up, and they sift through all the information, and it can be difficult to really figure it out because there is so much out there, and there's so many people telling you that you can't be one if you do this, or you are one if you do this. So I figured I'd make this and have my take on it. Now, I want you to be aware that this is technically just my opinion on what I think is femboy qualifying, but I'm also not here to tell you that you can or cannot be one. It's ultimately up to you to decide who you are, and if you decide that you are a femboy, then that's fantastic, and if you figure out that it's not for you, then that's just as good. So, all that said, the best way that we can start this conversation is to actually ask the question of what is the definition. Well, coming straight from the most reliable source on the internet, Wikipedia, a male who displays traditionally feminine characteristics such as wearing dresses, skirts, and or thigh highs. So in this example, it's just talking about the fashion aspect of it. However, for me, I believe that there are three defining characteristics of what makes someone a femboy. Not that you have to meet all three, but I would say that you have appearance, fashion, and then lifestyle. So let's go through those. So for your appearance, perhaps you don't like hair as much, so you might shave your face, and then you could take it a step further if you want, and you can shave your legs, or even shave your arms, or just go full body with it. Who cares, For me personally, I shave my face and my legs. I don't really mind my stomach hair because I got very lucky and I have the fluffiest hair known to man, so it's absolutely soft. Not that you need to know that, but that's how it works for me personally, and this is just me showing that you don't have to be this picture perfect example of a femboy that you see online. You can if you want, but it's not a requirement. Like, this community is very, very accepting of pretty much anyone and everyone, at least in my circles, and I think it should be that way across the board. So the things that you can do for your appearance if you want is, like I said, you can shave. What can help a lot with skincare is moisturizing day and night, and just using a general facial cleanser. Some people will tell you to take it farther than that, and you can, but you don't have to. Okay, so I was talking about your face, right? You can do the cleansing and whatnot, and that will just generally help with skincare. You can also decide to change your haircut. You can have short hair, you can have the longest hair. There's really no classification here, but there are haircuts that will generally look more feminine, and if you're trying to fit the traditional femboy style, then it only makes sense that you should be looking at women's haircuts, but you don't have to. Do whatever you want. So, that pretty much covers what I would say is the appearance section. I think appearance defines the way that your actual body looks, and then fashion is what you wear, and things like makeup and how you present yourself. Now, to be fair, makeup is kind of a gray area between appearance and fashion, but I kind of feel like it leans more towards fashion because it's something you put on yourself. It's not actually who you are. So, that being said, we're already here, so in the terms of fashion, let's start with makeup. There are a ridiculous amount of different styles that you can do, so you really have a lot of area and time to experiment and decide what works best for you. For me personally, I'm not the best artist in the world, so it's taking me time to get it down, but what I personally like is some eyeliner and just foundation. Pretty simple. Except no, it's not, because oh my god, is eyeliner hard to put on sometimes. I envy every single girl that has been doing it for long enough that they're just perfect at it, but I am nowhere near that point whatsoever. I can't draw a stick man to save my life, and now I'm being asked to paint my eyes. No, thank you. It sucks too because I love eyeliner so much, but you can do that. You can change the colors with it. You don't have to go with black eyeliner. You can go with white. You can be crazy with it and go with blue. Or you can just put on things like eyeshadow. I've seen some fantastic images of people with eyeshadow only, and I might put them on the screen here or there. It just depends. And you can choose to do things like put on lipstick or not. For me personally, I'm not a fan of the way that lipstick feels or how, just how it looks. Now you may be, but the only reason that I still decide to put it on is because I kind of feel like it stands out if you don't. But maybe it doesn't. If you have great lip care, if you put on balm all the time, then you should be fine. So, onto clothing, which is generally the part that everyone focuses on, but is not the only part of being a femboy. So you again have a lot of opportunities for clothing. You can go emo with it, you can be seen, you can wear the pastel colors, you can mix them and be pastel goth. So most people start off with the traditional thigh-highs and skirt, maybe some fishnets, and that works perfectly fine. It's a very good look. Or you can completely change things up. Maybe you want to wear garters or some kind of leggings or a crop top. It really comes down to you and your preference. Generally, what I've heard for fashion advice, although again, you don't have to take it, I would say that baggy generally is more feminine. What I mean by that is a oversized hoodie is going to look more feminine than a really small one. But if you like the way that a small hoodie looks, then go for it. So, I'd say that's pretty much that. But one thing that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about is the shoes. You don't have to really focus on this part generally, just because, shoes are shoes, people got whatever. But for me, I think a pair of Doc Martens fits very nicely. I really like the more goth, emo type of look when it comes to the femboy style, so I generally like wearing, a black color palette, but, that might not fit everybody, so maybe not the Doc Martens, but, just think about the footwear if you believe that will have a big difference. I think with lighter colors, it's pretty imperative that you can just go with white shoes, and that will probably fit perfectly. So, the last part I would like to suggest is lifestyle. Honestly, I should have put this in appearance, but I feel like your voice kind of also is a lifestyle thing, just because you are going out of your way to alter it, if that makes sense. Not that everyone has to, but I don't think I have to tell you that I don't normally speak this quietly. However, I want to be a more quiet and calming person, and I really want my online appearance to reflect that. So I choose to speak more quietly and softly. But not everyone has to do that either. There's a lot of very masculine or loud femboys, and they're perfectly fine as well. But in general, the perspective that a lot of people have on it is that femboys are very soft, shy, and reserved. So if you like that, then you can display that pretty easily. There are voice tutorials online, though you don't have to go through all of that work if you don't want. I kind of got lucky, and I have a pretty naturally high voice, so this isn't any work on my end. I'm just speaking quietly. But if you don't have such a high voice, then maybe those tutorials would be for you in that case. Other parts of lifestyle, I would say, are how you present yourself, how you act in public, maybe your interests and hobbies. A lot of femboys like things like hyperpop, and ironically, funny enough, there are very, very many of them that overlap with metalheads. Not that you have to be one yourself, but I would say that personally, believe it or not, I am very, very into metal, and I know a lot of femboys that are. So, surprise, surprise, be on the lookout for that. And there's also things like what hobbies you're into. I know a lot of femboys that make music or that draw or that are interested in making videos. That sounds familiar. I would say that a lot of them are engaged in creative hobbies, and ironically enough, again, on the opposite side of the spectrum, I also know some that are invested in trades like woodworking and welding, things that they can do with their hands, which honestly I would say is kind of still like a creative career. It's more like a Minecraft type creative career instead of a music type creative career, if that makes sense. But there's kind of those two sides. Now, of course, that's not everyone, but that's the majority of people that I meet. And then you can, again, do things like speak quietly. You can maybe, have a smaller presence if that's what you want, or you can be the complete opposite, be extroverted and go out more. Because, especially in the dating world, now I'm not here to give dating advice, but in the dating world, a lot of people really like confidence. So nothing displays confidence more than deciding to just be yourself. And all things that I've said throughout this video, that is possibly the most important thing that I want you to take from this, is that even if there is a part of this that you want to integrate into your lifestyle, you should still be true to yourself, if that makes sense. Like, for example, I do this softer voice because I like it and I think it defines who I am better than how I really sound. But at the same time, I don't go out of my way to replicate the femboy voice by making my voice higher than it naturally is. So I don't go to the farthest extreme. I just use what fits me. And like I said earlier, I do shave my face and legs, but not my whole body. So you're able to just take bits and pieces of those things. So anyways, I hope that everything I said here was insightful to some degree, and that you've learned something about what kind of style you want to go for, what kind of appearance changes you might want to make, what kind of fashion suits you, what lifestyle choices might help you, or maybe you're just here to learn about femboys and who they are, and that's perfectly great as well. We need more people being aware of this community and who they are, because I believe it's a form of expression and lifestyle, and that it should be accepted as such. So, thank you guys for coming back to watch this video, and be on the lookout, because I'm actually really enjoying this, so I think I might upload a lot more often than I think. So thank you for any and all support that you give me. As always, you can leave a comment if you have a question or a story to share, or just something that you want me to talk about, and I might just get to it. So thank you guys.